morning, guys. Welcome to another installment of our Stardew Life. Today, I'm going to be doing something a little bit off the beaten path here. We're not doing anything related to the homestead itself, but I need to do a little bit of auto repair. I'm standing in the garage right now. Car's not here. It is actually sitting outside the garage because I had to take it into town the other day. The reason I had to take it into town was here where we live now in Nova Scotia, vehicles need to pass a safety. And part of said safety process is you need to get a mechanic to inspect it, which I did on Wednesday. And there was a couple findings they found that need to be addressed. Now, I have an appointment on Tuesday to get all those findings addressed and fixed. But if I can get any of the work done myself ahead of time, that will save me money, because they already said if I can fix any of these problems before I bring it in on Tuesday, then they'll just check it, confirm it's fixed, and mark it as good, as opposed to charging me the labor to, do it. Now, one of the problems is the horn wire got disconnected. That's as simple as reconnecting the wire. That's already done. What I'm going to be working on today is the sprayers for the windshield wiper. So, the sprayer motor should be a pretty straightforward fix. It's either the pump is gone or there's an electrical problem. No spray. I hear the wiper motors starting. Now, if I turn the wipers all the way on, they work. So that's not a problem. The problem is that the sprayers don't work. So I think the sound I was hearing was the sprayer pump, trying to spray and failing to do so. So I believe there's power getting to it, but I'm going to confirm that the quickest and easiest way I can think of doing. Not necessarily the smartest, but it'll work. So what I've got here is next to the pump, I've got an alligator clip on the positive lead. Now, if I attach that directly to 12-volt power, that is definitely making noise. So power to the pump is still not spraying, which is making me think that this is definitely an issue with the actual motor. But to confirm, let's reconnect the positive. And try it from inside the car. So I'm going to leave you right here, and let's see if that is the source of the noise when I activate it from inside the car. That is definitely the pump getting power. However, we're not seeing water come out. So what I'm going to do, this is the output to the pump. Comes out here. I have disconnected it. Let me get you a better view. So this is a one-way valve that prevents water from flowing in two directions. So the water that comes out doesn't feed back in. And this is the feed that would go into it. So I've disconnected it. Now, if the pump cannot spray out of this, then I know I don't have a clogged, well, I don't know. I can assume that the nozzles aren't clogged and assume that the hose isn't clogged, because this is what comes directly off the pump. It just goes underneath, loops around to my hand. So this here, if this is not working, then I'm guessing the problem is the pump itself, which it's old. It would make sense. So let's test. There was nothing coming out of this pipe when I was hitting that motor. So the easiest thing to try is just to swap that motor out. So I believe I have one in the garage. I'm just gonna grab it, swap it out, and see if I get any love. This could be a problem. This is the new pump. If you'll note, the hoses are different sizes. This is the output, and this is fine. But the input is this big thing here. I might be able to get it to work. Let me see what I can do. Yeah, so this is definitely going to be a problem. This is the hose I have coming from the reservoir, and this is the entrance for the pump. If you'll note, that's not going to work. Oh, but what's this? There's an adapter on the end. All right, so I've slid that adapter onto the end of the hose that connects to the pump. And now, if I slide this over here, sorry, I need better grip. Let's try this and see if it works. All right, so I have it attached. Let's just see if it gets water through it. I wonder if I have this backwards. All right, so we can get power to the pump, but even with a brand new pump, we're not getting water throughput. I am wondering if there's something wrong with my infeed hose. Now, airflow is fine, so it's not that it's clogged, and I have lots of fluid in there. Like, that goes pretty deep. It's almost at the surface there, and it goes all the way down there, so there's lots of fluid. There's no reason for it not to be working. I'm gonna try something crazy. Let's see if this works. So what I just tried was switching which nozzle the input was on. I wonder if when they did the work on the engine, they mounted it all backwards. So let's find out. I think the issue here is suction. Blah. If I'm making weird noises, it's because to try and prime the pump, I, inhaled on the output to suck fluid through to see if I can get it going. There's just not enough pressure. I believe this is meant to be mounted vertically as well. I know the problem is the pump, but this pump here is just not the right style. This one I think is meant to be vertically mounted inside of a tank itself, as opposed to mounted, by the dash. So, I'm gonna leave things as they are. Gonna take all the parts into the garage, and I will tackle this hopefully tomorrow. I'll see if I can get some, the proper pump sent overnight, and that way I'll have it in the morning. Well, good morning. It is now Sunday morning. The new pump is due to arrive in the mail today, but as you can see, things have gotten a little chillier since we were working on this just a few days ago. So as you can see, winter has once again reared its little snowy head, and we got a lot of snow out here today. Most of this fell yesterday and over the last 48 hours. But I can't just leave the car in this state. I'm gonna have to clean it, because not only is the new pump arriving today, so I want to make that work done today. Get the work done today. Sorry, I haven't had my coffee yet. It's only 8 in the morning and I have yet to have my coffee. I shouldn't complain though, because my wife's been gone to work now for over 2 hours since she left. She started a new job today, so excited about that, but it's gonna be a long day and she had to leave right early because it's quite the trek away. But yeah, I want to get this started and get this underway. So before anything else, I'm gonna have to clean out this driveway and clean off this car, which is all the more reason to break out the new electric snowblower. I've been charging its batteries overnight. I have no idea how well it's gonna work, but hey, let's get this yard cleaned up, this driveway cleaned up a bit, the car cleaned off, and get started. All right, it's loud, but I'm just gonna let that thing warm up for a bit more. That should help thaw some of the ice. I got the heaters going, and during that time, I'm gonna hit the snowblower up and see how she goes. All right, so final verdict on this snowblower. This is a Mastercraft battery operated snowblower. It was about a third of the price of the cheapest gas snowblower we could find, and it was in stock. Fresh, light snow, this thing works well. Anything that's hard or chunky or has been there for a while or it's been driven over by a car, yeah, this thing's just not cutting through. So, lessons learned, but I think as long as I use this like the day of a snowfall, this will work well, because as long as the snow's fluffy, it just cuts right through it and it gives a nice flat bottom surface. I think the biggest problem though is we've got chunks of slush and bits of frozen snow husk and ice that's below where the cars are and drips off the cars as a form of like, you know, drippings when the car is driving that comes out of the wheel wells. This is more meant for a fresh driveway. Now that being said, it works. Like, there's a very clear and delineated path that I cleared with the snow, or in the snow. So it's very obvious. It does do its job. It blows snow, not slush and debris. which I'm not that surprised considering it's just a plastic auger with a battery-operated brushless motor as opposed to a big metal blade being thrown by a gas engine. But for the rest of winter, this will do. It does have those pod type batteries that Mastercraft uses, so those will work with most of my power tools. So the batteries are interchangeable, which is nice. But all in all, I give this thing like a 3 out of 5 for rating. It is not really sparking joy with me, but it is functional. It does what it does, what it claims to do. It blows snow, but only snow, and just snow, and nothing else. I'm gonna see if I can clear this area from the step to where the cars go and see how that works as a final test of her. And then by then, I should be ready to wrap things up until the new pump arrives. All right, so my 3 out of 5 rating, I think I'll move it up to like a 4 because while yes, hard stuff on the driveway does nothing to, it did work for the deck. Like that cut through like a hot knife through damn butter. And I have a child watching me through the door right now. But yeah, it cut through that like nobody's business. So much faster than shoveling would have been. This path here, it wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible either. So it does what it's supposed to do. It blows snow, and snow only, nothing but snow. But as long as that's what you intend to use it for, it's functional. It does what it's supposed to. Morning, guys. So it's been about 24 hours since we last spoke. Excuse me, it's now Monday morning. The pump did not arrive in time for me to get this work done yesterday, but it did arrive later in the day yesterday when I didn't have any light left. And this little guy here, hopefully will be my ticket to salvation. It's got the input and the output. They're both the same size as the hoses I had in the Firebird, or at least visibly look the same size. I'll know for sure when I go to put it in. So let's get that started. Unlike yesterday morning, I at least thought ahead and brought my coffee with me. So I have my coffee, and I'm good to get going. And there before us sits the sleeping beast. Sorry. Let's get you guys all set up here where you guys can see, and we will get started. So before anything else, the first thing we're gonna test is just to make sure that if we hook the new pump up to the input and give it power, does it squirt? You sit right there. All right, got good view there? Yep. All right, let's start this thing up and see where we're at. Why is a brand new pump? You know what I'm gonna try? I'm gonna try something. Here, let me turn off the radiator though, that's loud. Sorry, radiator's the wrong word. The blower motor. I'm testing something. If I had the positive and negative swapped, and power is being applied in reverse. Now that I know this works, let's slot it somewhere secure where it's not gonna move. I'm gonna tuck it underneath this same bracket that they had the original one under. I want this way, and I'll just tighten it. It's not a permanent solution, but it'll hold it for now. Hook this up to the input. Oh, I need to get this far enough that it will reach the output. There we go, there's the output. All right, let's leave it there, and I will test quickly to see if that's a good spot before I zap it down. Do I have it backwards again? It worked a minute ago. What am I doing wrong? There we go. There's fluid. Now let's hook it back up to the second hose. Let's see if these things spray. Windshield washer sprayers are spraying. And there we go. $20 part on eBay. And a couple days of, waiting and some troubleshooting on my own end. And I've just saved myself about $200 worth of labor costs at the mechanics tomorrow. So, huzzah. Anywho, guys, that is it for this week's video. I know it wasn't really Homestead related, but it's basic troubleshooting of equipment around the house, be it a motor vehicle, a tractor, using a new snowblower, whatever I run into out here, I'm gonna be sure to keep track of for you guys and bring up to speed. Heck, if any of you guys have this problem in the future, maybe the troubleshooting steps I went through would help you guys be able to solve the same problem on your own old vehicles. The only thing I have left to do at this point now is just to find some zip ties so I can zip tie that pump in place and make sure that it doesn't go anywhere. Which I know I got zip ties in one of these drawers. Question is, there we go, right there. Get some zip tie to zip tie it down so that it doesn't move anywhere, and that should be Bob's your uncle. Have you guys run into any mechanical problems with your vehicles that you've been able to troubleshoot? Or have you guys been able to take on a simple task yourself that getting a professional to do would have cost a significant amount of more money? Now, now, don't get me wrong. There are certainly times where using a professional for assistance is the way to go. They know the ins and outs. They know what to do and what not to do to be safe. That's why I'm still having the mechanics deal with the brakes on the car. I'm sure I could figure it out, but I am not an expert, and I don't want to put my vehicle's safety in the hands of a novice. But windshield wiper pump, it's an electric pump hooked up to an inline water feed. It is fairly straightforward and simple, and hopefully if you guys run into a similar problem, you guys know how to fix it on your own. But yeah, tell me about any weird mechanical issues you guys have had in the past, or ways you've saved money yourselves. Tell me your stories down in the comments below. Give the video a like if this has been at all helpful to you. And until next time, have yourselves a good morning, a good afternoon, a good evening, and a good night. Enjoy your coffee, and I'll see you next time. Take care, my friends.